Hey everybody, Brittany here. Hope you're having a great day. Sorry again that we didn't get this training last night, but I'm so excited to bring you this information. So hopefully you have a notepad ready and a pen. This way you can pause it as you need to take notes along the way. I know this season is super, super busy, so I don't want to keep you guys very long. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. So there's a guy, his name is Ray, and I actually have written down his last name, but he is a copy he's really known for his copywriting. He does almost every ad that you see, whether it's in a magazine or an email. He writes almost all of that himself. Huge companies hire him to do all their copy, their sales copy, and he's really famous for it. So these are his notes on, or his training on how to write good sales copies, whether it's a message you're sending to somebody, whether it's a post you're making on a social media, or a text you're sending somebody, or even in conversation. Things that you can say that help to seal the deal, get the point across, just better wording for when you communicate with people. And he calls them magic phrases that will help make you money. So I'm going to talk about the different phrases, and I have something at the end that's a special side note that I think is a really, really good tip that I got from this too. So I'm excited to share that with you guys as well. So here we go. The first phrase that he talked about us using is if, then. If, then phrases or scenarios. So I'm going to give you some examples. You could talk about if you're tired of being broke, and you want to use something that's negative, something that's associated with the discomfort that people are feeling right now. So if you're tired of feeling broke, if you're tired of having to tell your kids no all the time, if you're tired of having to count every penny while grocery shopping, if you're tired of being sick all winter, if you've tried all the diets and have gotten little results. So it's an if, then. So if you're tired of being sick all winter, then why don't you give this a try? That way you're saying this is the problem, and if this is what your problem is, then this could be the solution for you. So if, then phrases. Then it's time you tried this, and it's time you said yes, and it's time you stopped waiting. Then it's time you stopped having to deal with that. So think of, and I would just write a bunch of these out just so you kind of have them in your wheelhouse where in the notes of my phone, I write, I have all these written out, and anytime I get ideas, I write more out. That way, whenever I'm kind of stuck or needing a post, I can go to that note on my phone and pull up all these ideas, and I'm able to write something. I do that a lot in Carline, where I'll have all these ideas in my phone. When I'm sitting there in Carline, I'll go through and actually write out posts. That way I have them already written out, ready to go when I need them. So the first one was if, then. If this is your problem, then this can be your solution. The second phrase we talked about was here's why. So you could say something like, most likely you can't notice the difference on days that you remember to take your multivitamin and days you don't. Here's why. Or do you ever find yourself at the end of the month counting every dollar until payday? Here's why. The cost of living is always going up, but when's the last time your income did the same? So again, say, here's the problem. If this is your problem, then here's why. And then talk about why they have that problem, and then what the solution might be, and how what we have could be the solution to that problem. So here's why. So you're stating what their problem is, and then saying this is why you have that problem, and then this could be the solution to it. The third one was what most people do, and then list things that don't work. So most people, most people, if they need extra money, or if their budget's getting tight, or if it's the end of the year and they need more money, most people will add more hours to their schedule. But then that means they're missing more time with their family. So again, say like, this is the problem. This is what most people do, but this is why you don't want that to be you. So maybe say when people want to lose weight around the holidays, most people will eliminate whole food groups. But who wants to do that when there's all kinds of Christmas parties to go to? Or around the holidays, there's all kinds of spending you have to do to prepare. What most people do is run up credit card debt. But what if that didn't have to be you? Or Maybe you say, most people, we're going into the new year, and a lot of people set goals. What most people do is they set a goal that's actually too low, and then when they reach it, they become demotivated because they expect something greater to have happened, and then they feel demotivated. So set big goals for yourself this year, and then hold yourself accountable to achieve them. And this could be something that could help you reach those goals. So again, you're saying this is the problem, what most people do, and then this is the solution. Which these are all kind of the same thing, because what you want people to see is that there's a problem, that there's a problem that they're facing, that you have what the solution to their problem could be. There are all kind of ways to word that differently, just to kind of mix it up so you're not saying the same thing every time. The next one I really like is, if you only got ... So this is when it's called stacking the value. So if you say, if you tried these products and all you got was improved immune system, better sleep, and increased metabolism, more energy, just list 2 or 3 things and say, if you tried these and all you got was better sleep, increased metabolism, more energy, then wouldn't it be worth it? But guess what? You get all that and more. So you're stacking the value, saying, even if this is all you got, wouldn't it be worth it? But you get that and so much more. And the same with the business. You could say, if you decided to give this business a try and all you were able to do is pay off a little debt, get your products for free, and relieve some stress for your family, wouldn't it be worth it? But what if you got all that and more? So again, you're stacking the value. Because then people say, oh yeah, that would be worth it if I got that, if I was able to pay off debt, if I was able to get my products for free, if I was able to relieve stress from my family. But this business doesn't do just one of those things. It can do all of those and more, and help people see the value in that. The next one was, don't let this happen to you. People hate being embarrassed. They hate being felt like they're singled out or left out. So it's, how can people avoid that? So you could say something like, have you ever had to miss an event because your paycheck wasn't enough to cover it? Don't let this be you. Have you ever had to tell your kids they couldn't do something their friends are doing because there wasn't enough room in the budget? How crushing for a parent is that? Let me help you, so that's not you this Christmas season or going into the new year. There's so many different ways that you can word that to convey it to your audience. But again, say, this is the problem most people face. Don't let that be you. This could be the solution. The next one was, what if? And I know we do this a lot in the positive, which I'll come back to that at the end with the tip that I'm super excited about. But what you want to do is kind of paint a negative picture of consequences. So don't say things like, what if you could get a paid vacation for your family next year? Or what if you could add this to your family's budget? You want to paint the negative consequences. What is the cost of not doing it? What would happen if they don't join? What if you got sick next week and lost income right before the holidays? How would that impact your family? What if you could keep your kids from getting sick this holiday season? What if you could replace all the money you're spending this holiday season quicker than you're spending it? So again, you want to paint a negative picture, something that's happening negatively, and say, but what if this could help that not happen? I like that last one. What if you could replace all the money you're spending this holiday season quicker than you're spending it? And then the last one that he talked about, and you don't have to use this wording exactly, this was just a kind of what he was going for, was, you're standing at a crossroads. It's decision time. When you're talking to people, this is especially like when you've got them on the phone or you're talking to them in person or in a message about Plexus, you have to give them something to either accept or reject. So present them with the problem. You are sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're stressed out from not having enough money. Whatever their problem is, now what kind of person are you? Are you the person who wants to solve the problem or who wants to ignore the problem? And you can incorporate that in a post somehow too about, this is the problem that you're facing or that most people are facing, or are you facing this problem? Now, are you going to be the person who fixes that problem, or are you going to be the person who runs from that problem? So that's the last one he talked about, was kind of painting a picture of them having to make a decision and which kind of person are you going to be. Another thing that he said too, just a side note, was, how many times do you talk to somebody about Plexus? He says until, he didn't say Plexus, but he said your product. It's until they order. Until they order. Don't take no. When people tell me no, I had somebody who told me, I don't want to order. If I ever decide to, I will let you know. But this person, a lot of times when there's a special or an incentive, I actually reached out to this person about the 3-day challenge that we're doing. And I said, hey, I know that you were interested before in ordering, and you said that you were going to let me know, but we've recently added these 3-day challenge packets to our ordering, and it's something that you might be interested in at least trying a couple products for 3 days to see what you think. Let me know. And he was like, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and join to just, kind of go all in. And he was someone who told me, no, don't message me again. I'll message you when I'm ready. And then when I messaged him about the 3-day challenge, he actually said that he was ready to order, like order, join. So he joined the Vital Welcome Pack. So you never know with people, never count them out, and never cross them off your list. If you think you have talked to somebody enough about Plexus, you're wrong. It takes so many times to bring it up, to have that conversation. I think the statistic is 3 times a week, which I wouldn't recommend that, depending on who the person is. But you should be reaching out to people regularly to remind them of how great the products are. This is what their problem is or was, or the last time you talked, this is where they were in their problem. Have they overcome that yet? And if not, are they ready to today? So this is just an extra tip that I want to talk to you guys about, and it's a marketing myth. So we think a lot of times, sometimes we don't even think about it, but we just naturally, again, without even thinking about it, assume that customers are only motivated by desire. So then again, like I mentioned before, when we post, we talk about things like, what could an extra $1,000 do for your budget? Or imagine you're on this trip to Hawaii. Or what if you drove home a brand new Lexus? And we paint this positive picture. Well, scientifically, when our brains think of ourselves in the future, we think of that person, our future self, as a totally different person. So most people, everybody, scientifically, there's a complete disconnect between who you are right now and your future self. So talking about a picture of how great your life, whoever's life could be down the road, there's actually a huge disconnect because people process that person as a completely different person than the person that they are right now. That's just how our brains visualize our future self. So what we need to do is actually use negative language because it's more effective. And we need to take them as they are, where their pain is right now today. Humans are more motivated to avoid something bad than to experience something good. Humans are more motivated to avoid something bad than experience something good. So people are more motivated to not lose $100 than they are to gain $100. And we need to remember that when we're talking to people about ordering and joining. They're more worried about losing the money they're spending on the products than all the stuff they're going to gain from getting the product. So what we need to talk to them about is, what is the cost to them if they don't order and join? What are all the negative things that are going to be impacted in their life soon if they don't order and join? So instead of talking about what could an extra $1,000 a month do for your family, talk about what would $1,000 loss a month do to your family? How would losing $1,000 a month impact your family? Because people will process that a lot more effectively than thinking about gaining $1,000. So you need to establish that there's something at stake, something that they will miss out on if they don't buy the products or if they don't join right now. Something that's going to be negative in their life now if they don't do the things. Not something that's going to be positive in the future, something that's going to negative impact them right now. Let's see. So people, and he said too that people, that's why it's a lot easier to sell headache medicine than it is to sell vitamins, because people who have a headache right now are going to buy headache medicine. People who don't have a headache aren't going to take vitamins for the future headache they might have and how to avoid that. So again, we need to talk about what they're suffering from right now and how this is the answer to that suffering right now. He talked about, if you're selling prevention, you have to make their pain in the present, not their desire for the future. You could talk about holiday prep is underway, and if you're like most people, your energy tank is running on empty. What if you found a way to avoid feeling drained this holiday season? Because that's right now where they are. Or are your bills starting to stack up, but there's still presents to buy? What if you could get through the holidays without losing more money from your account and increasing it instead? So again, it talks about don't lose more money buying the presents you're buying right now. That's not talking about paying off debt next year. Have you already gained weight this holiday season? What if you could lose that before the new year started? So again, it's a pain that they're experiencing now, something negative now, and how what we have is a solution to that. So that was one of my absolute favorite tips. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer, but hopefully you took a few nuggets from that at least. I can't wait to see you next Sunday. Hopefully my kiddo cooperates and I will be on time next Sunday night for those notes that I took about how to avoid losing customers, ambassadors from here on out. It was another really great podcast that I listened to. I cannot wait to share my notes with that with y'all. But I hope you guys have a great day. And if you have any questions, let me know.